Freiberufler or Gewerbetreibender. The question defines whether you pay trade tax, join a chamber you've never heard of, and how much bookkeeping you carry. Get it wrong, and the Finanzamt can reclassify you years later with back payments. Here is the summary to close the video. If you sell qualified, personal, expertise, think of doctors, engineers, lawyers, where the result of your work is unique case by case, you're likely a Freiberufler. If you sell standardized physical or digital products, you're a Gewerbe. You don't pick the type, your business does. Let's start with the registration. A Gewerbetreibender must register at Gewerbeamt, the trade office, for a one-time fee of roughly 15 to 65 euros. The fee depends on the city or sometimes even a municipality. A Freiberufler skips this entirely and registers only with the Finanzamt. Next, trade tax. Only Gewerbetreibender pay it, but only above 24,500 euros of profit, not revenue, profit, per year. Freiberufler are again exempt. Completely. For sole traders, a credit against income tax offsets much of the burden, but it's still an extra tax filing every year. Finally, bookkeeping. A Freiberufler can use simple cash basis EUR forever, no matter how big the business gets. A Gewerbe that crosses 800,000 euros of revenue or 80,000 euros of profit must switch to full double entry bookkeeping with a balance sheet. It's much more complicated and much more expensive if you work with a tax advisor. So what makes you a Freiberufler? The legal home is paragraph 18 of the Income Tax Act. There are 3 doors to become a Freiberufler. Door number 1, the catalog professions. The law literally lists them: medical, doctors, dentists, vets, physiotherapists, midwives, legal and business advisory, lawyers, notaries, auditors, tax advisors, technical, engineers, architects, researchers, and a bunch of more professions. Door number 2, similar professions. Your job isn't on the list, but it's comparable in training and in content. This is where decades of court rulings live. IT consultants working at an engineering dev, management consultant with a business degree, web designers producing original creative work. Door 3, the 5 activity types: scientific, artistic, literary, teaching, or educational work qualifies even without a catalog match. An author, a lecturer, a coach with a real documented teaching concept. You may have noticed a common thread. The work is intellectual and creative. It needs academic or equivalent qualification. And what about the Gewerbetreibender? Who are the Gewerbetreibender? How to become one? Simple. It's the default. It's how all the businesses were before the introduction of Freiberufler. Paragraph 15. If you work independently, continuously, with profit intent, and you don't fit through any of these 3 doors, you are a Gewerbe. Selling products, online or offline, drop shipping, Amazon, Etsy, crafts, manufacturing, gastronomy, brokering deals, affiliate marketing, influencer work, installing or reselling standard software, even app sales are included into the Gewerbe list. And let me say this clearly, because how the internet frames Gewerbe as a losing ticket. It's not. The trade tax has a generous allowance, 24.5K, and a credit against your income. The registration costs less than a dinner. Being a Gewerbe provides you much more freedom than being a Freiberufler. And being a Gewerbe is a normal, healthy way to run a business. Most businesses are actually Gewerbe. What costs you real money is to pretend to be a Freiberufler when you're not, and kneecapping your business trying to fit a narrow space. Now the gray zone, where most real fights with the Finanzamt happen: IT and consulting. The line runs like this: a developer who designs individual, sophisticated system, architectural level work, engineering depth, usually with a degree or equivalent knowledge, is often recognized as a Freiberufler. A developer who mostly builds standard websites, configures off-the-shelf software, or self-licenses, commercial. Think of app sales. Every app download and a purchase is the same app, is the same repeatable process that you built once, so it's definitely a Gewerbe. Same title on the business card, different tax status. Designers. Original, creative work with your own signature is artistic, so Freiberufler. Template-based production work, trade. Coaches, a documented teaching concept can qualify as a teaching activity. Pure motivation coaching bundled with marketing, usually trade. Photographers, mostly Gewerbe, mostly Gewerbe if you are not an artist showing your work in exhibitions. What if you do both? Say a developer who consults and also sells a product? As a sole trader, you can do both, taxed separately. If you separate them cleanly, separate records, separate invoice ranges, a clear line between the services can exist. You may ask, how would a Finanzamt even know what I do? Well, you will tell the Finanzamt what you do. The moment you file the Fragebogen zur steuerlichen Erfassung, the tax registration questionnaire, there is a field asking about your activity. Based on this field, the Finanzamt decides, are you a Gewerbetreibender or a Freiberufler? This form is our next video. I'll fill it in field by field. See you in the next one. Ciao.